Rise. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you checking it out. I'm gonna keep going with the story. We just stand on the ship. Is that what we do?
I thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with it.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan home.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this, the Red Woman, the answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally
So, what do we do first?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What?
Oh, okay. Halt, who goes there? Is that how they say hi on Rena? They just stick their hand in your face and say hello. What? Did this warp us? How?
Damn!
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad.
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
The hell? Okay.
A flower blooming out of Renan?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already?
A flower of oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis.
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our...
So what? We're just stuck inside here?
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck. We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death.
Law, calm down! You're not the only one who's worried.
Right.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
I was just fighting monsters on the planet. Like, what the hell's going on? We're in space, there's cosmic beams and shit. What the hell is going on?
We managed to get moving, but
It looks like Lenegus in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here.
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile.
Hey!
if they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship.
Ah, Shion, just in the nick of time.
No!
What the? Oh!
No, I'm the one who should apologize.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting...
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feel... Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask.
I guess I never really thought it before long. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it?
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come.
yeah, just hang in there. Boo!
Ah! What the? Are you out of your mind?
Oh, come on. How am I supposed...
It's called experiencing feelings
Yeah,
appropriate to the situation.
Hurt people.
You ought to try it sometime.
Didn't hurt Alphen originally,
Yeah,
but now I
but
do.
seeing
Kind
you
of.
act all nervous...
Oh,
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your
owls.
judgment. Try to strike a balance.
Okay, we good? Don't press R1 anymore? Jesus Christ. Okay, we can't go back to any of the other places yet, so...
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
yeah. Our planet's really not doing too hot.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dahna, so I figured... Still, though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that.
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue.
Rena and Dahna. We were taught that both worlds were spherical but to think that they lied
Yeah, they
to
probably
us not
fucked
only
their
about the
planet up and
Sovereign
then
and
they're
the
trying
Crown
to replace
contest,
it.
but also the
Dohalim.
If I was to take a guess.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
someone formidable enough to bring our starship along.
Wise guy,
That beam
yeah.
of light joining Dahna and Rena. It was the Renan side that at first came,
That's what it looked like.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld?
which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress.
You made it... You notice something, you change it.
Guess we're good. Talking. There's like 500 conversations in this game. It's absolutely absurd. Let's see, lower, central, upper. Let's go lower first. Not accessible, great. Wait, central is. Why are there plants everywhere? It's so weird. Okay, so it's only the middle that's accessible. More cutscenes, let's go. Why, it's a pod. Why are you walking cautiously into the room?
This place looks a lot like that room we saw.
Huh? What's that? It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a
It doesn't look like it can move, tell me. Are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected
What
guests
is
these days.
going on?
It can talk!
It's about as bad as From.
What are
Jesus.
you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Get wrecked
Correct.
35? Okay.
What is this place? No, wait, before that. Just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the
They
Red
gotta be
Women?
robots.
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
Sheer coincidence.
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
Okay.
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Huh?
Oh, goody. More riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like
You
it or
got
not,
pigs in your hands, bro.
it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasal, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dahna from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dahna.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this great spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dahna? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dahna back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dahna has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dahna has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dahna this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dahna's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dahna is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's great spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dahna's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegus are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dahna.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dahna?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dahna's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renasalma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dahna.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dahna.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dahna's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
So who are the others?
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look.
What the actual fuck's going on? I guess there were 2 other levels to the
You
ship.
can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it.
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dahna?
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dahna complete...
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that...
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is.
Right.
There is one other... How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do...
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevrecht 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out...
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on them. Let's find out.
It's sharp. You gotta be careful. Okay, now we can go to the lower level. Well, that's where I was supposed to go, I guess. Why was none of that ever mentioned at any point? Okay. You can go to both. Question mark? Wow. Okay, so that's where that's happening over there, because you can see Rena and Dana from here. So it's been enough distance. Hanging out in space, you know, doing space things, because that's what I expect in this game. Space, 100% space. Okay. Okay.
Who are they?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside.
Are you a Renan?
Oh. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever, but be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that—
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrect 35 when he mentioned—
And what was that about subjects? You don't—
There isn't anyone else we can talk to around here.
Have you guys lived up here in Deg Faisal with Hevrect 35 for a—
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten—
Why are you all even here?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevrect 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary I have to imagine that's how Lenegis is still
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by—
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renan.
You act like this didn't affect you personally.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrect 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why—
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright. After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold, and things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on.
Thank you for answering. Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets
I gotta
undergo
take a
their
break.
next
I don't
shift,
know.
so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helgan.
You mean the Overseer's species?
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obvious.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, The Renans were originally created from Dahnans by the Helganquil.
Dramatic drums. So they were just Dahna.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't, but there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language, people of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction. In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all died. They gathered Dahnans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Dahnans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use astral arts on Dahna now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
Enough! You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound great. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed?
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
No, I don't think so. Captain Butt.
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner. However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans and Helganquil that... For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dahna, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contest...
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishap. A new Sovereign had to be made. It was such tremendously difficult work. Its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear...
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden...
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dahna. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevrecht 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that...
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shaped their minds?
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down.
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil.
Let's take a moment to... I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but... I think it's fair to say that we found the answer.
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great...
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Dahna.
Plus, The reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Dahnans all...
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Why don't we all take some time to think things over?
That's a good... If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, and we've got a really big... Because it's not just Dahna on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this... So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger. You sure you don't want to...
I could ask you...
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around.
I'll go along with you.
Sounds good.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Parts,
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
and I just let it so that if people want to watch it, they can just pause it and they can read the whole thing. A lot of talking.
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women...
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 is...
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrek 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another.
Make one, huh?
Okay, we good pressing R1 now? Okay, thank you. Like literally 2000. Okay. Oh, there's an inn over here, okay. Sure, I'll cook something. Sandwich. Well, it gives you the holy mark, as a sandwich should. Excellent. The wrapping's probably pretty good. Sure. I think one of these is supposed to like give you a circle, but why do we need to eat and have food? Why? Huh? What's he feeling? Look for the happy bottle, bro.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's...
He who? Oh, you mean Dohely.
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around...
What do you think about everything we've learned?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our plan... As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more...
How so?
Coexistence between Dahnans and Renans in Menancia. In my case, I think that's partly because... So... to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is...
You kept a...
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are... But at the same time, I realize...
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Dahnans... And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same... Yeah.
Even just among the Dahnans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance...
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred.
It's no small task.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that, in a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway.
Anyway.
Not...
That's an
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those, it won't be achieved, but I think it's a good... And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going...
Kind of reminds me of the science experiment that they ran with classrooms. They can't do it anymore because it's a little unethical, but... They took one group of kids and they told that group of kids that they were better than the other group of kids. and then the kids started acting like they were better than the other kids. Kind of reminds me what happened here with this. They're basically the same thing.
You both seem awfully
Same race
calm.
of people.
Only
Well,
because
we're told
after
they were better
everything
than
we've
the
seen,
others.
we don't have the...
How are you holding up, Rinwell?
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dan and Mage is like... But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danans again, then... Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and...
Yeah. I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your... But even so, I was still able to change. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danan and a Mage.
Renwell.
That great Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire...
Now that you mention it, Hevrek 35 and the other scientists here never...
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dan is still our home.
We won't.
No matter what. And I still can't go back. Whee! Who's down there? There's two down there. Let's go. I got a cape. My cape is split. Alright, farm
I
boy.
still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe...
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum?
It was really...
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen.
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad. That was no way to live. But all this talk about other races and the world ending...
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too...
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns. For obvious reasons. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, but that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me...
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you
The thing that's most important. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me. To fight for them.
Not every...
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight. And you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the...
Yeah. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulder. I'll fight to protect the people around.
Thanks. Thanks, Law. Good talk.
I apologize for making you
You mean hearing the origins?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen.
That's just part of being alive.
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dahna?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating, putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there...
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis, or come down to...
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred, and the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renan.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my rank.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way.
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that. On that note, I have something of a favor.
Oh?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator, so that the Renans can live on Dahna as the one and only blazing sword. I suspect...
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the...
Yes. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Dahnan society. Is it too...
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for...
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's
Then I'll ask once again. This time just as friend.
You don't even need to ask. Of course I...
Thank you.
well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create...
What about you, Shion?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renin in the literal sense, but right now it's kind of a
How do you mean?
because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you. It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Dahnan, as a real person. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace she said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own that means forgiving other people. Even and especially before they
Forgiving.
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future...
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another, without even meaning to.
It's not going to be easy getting past this, but if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all... I'm there with you, Shion. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten.
Well, is everybody ready to do what...
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, I don't care who we're up against.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your...
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, it's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with... That alone is enough. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to...
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own...
Indeed. Shion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy. The one... And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending...
Shion's thorns are the Great Spirit?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's...
While the main body resides in Rena...
Shion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go...
The question is, suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous. Large enough to house the Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole... It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis...
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're not.
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even...
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is...
Worst comes to worst. Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships that people can escape.
Wait.
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed.
Right.
We're talking...
Do you have your answer for?
We want to ask something. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, The Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Rena's Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Rena's Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns.
She was actually right all.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the great spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other...
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so...
We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit,
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your...
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive it. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the great spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the great spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen.
No.
Wait, Naori said that the Rena's Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy. And if so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of...
Well, can't...
It is true that the Rena's Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony. Considering that the Rena's Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed, I cannot allow it.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine, then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy... If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
Oh my god.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your...
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Rena's Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise.
But what are we supposed to do about the Rena's Alma?
It is likely that the Rena's Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower...
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the... What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar. Fix our starship.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrick 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly...
I'm resting. What? Sometimes it's not voiced. Another cutscene. Woo!
You still thinking about what the scientists told us?
I am.
You're worried about the future of the Ren...
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Dahnans...
But you still intend to confront...
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, even as I dream of retirement.
I'm sure you...
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Ren...
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us but we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those... When it comes down to it, Renans are just people.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you...
I understand what you're saying.
True
But we're talking
statement.
about massive numbers of Renans. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their... If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Do you still plan to return to Lenegus when...
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegus proper, however.
You'll always have a home in Menens. Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisa. I appreciate your patience as I work...
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to...
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, why'd you call me here?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, so I wanted to apologize.
Apologize?
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dana's will had been... I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really.
No, Law. Honestly, of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us?
Yeah, but I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, it was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning. Then, when I felt Dana's will, it made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right?
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah.
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you, and I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own, but I think that's how Dana's energy...
In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Hevrick 35 might know the... But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. So thanks, Rinwell.
Ah.
To be honest, The only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... Well, I mean, I feel like you and I had grown apart lately.
Huh?
Never mind.
Huh?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying.
thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
And one last pair.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind.
Same as you.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on...
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first...
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrecht 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main bot. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit. And me along with...
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma, but it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts.
You can't be serious.
Listen, the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for any... I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. But if it comes down to it...
With the halo on her head.
I need you to be prepared to...
Okay, but you should know that I'm not going to give up on you. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen, okay. I understand. And I'll forgive you. So it's a...
Yeah.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. I don't have words for the shock I felt.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that... But still, I hate having to see you suffer.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shiana.
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone.
She gave him the finger, bro.
Everybody get enough rest?
Yeah, we...
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting.
Our task is relatively straightforward.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far.
Then let's go, everybody.
Repairs on your starship are complete.
Is that you, Hevrecht 35?
I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dig Fate.
Sounds like someone's a...
Maybe we should give Hevrecht 35 a break. It has...
I have unlocked all functions on your starship.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere.
Wait.
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable...
So, once we reach the shell...
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit?
The extinction of my people. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's alive.
Well?
Hold up.
You heard the lady. Get go-
I have one.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this,
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? Why have you two continued to persist?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
Alright, well, thanks for watching again. It's mostly cutscenes, and we'll be back in another video.